It's important if you've been asked over to a friend's house for dinner and it's going to be more of a formal setting, particularly if it's going to be more of a formal setting, that you sit down and take some time to discuss with your children all of the rules, age appropriately. Obviously, you're not going to have the same expectations from a toddler that you're going to have from an older child. But, especially if you have lax rules in your home, which we actually have in our home, it's important to remember and to remind them that, you're not going to be at home and the same sort of, ruled, like sort of relaxed rules are not going to apply, that you're really going to expect your children to be on their best behavior. And, hopefully, even if you have very relaxed rules at home, you've taken the time throughout the years to teach your children how they are to behave outside of the home. And oftentimes, don't despair if your child really seems to lack manners at home. If you have taken the time to teach your children the manners, you'd be surprised at just how well they behave when they're not at home and you're not there to witness it. Children often behave much better outside of the home than they do inside the home. With that said, you want to teach them, polite manners, how to greet whoever it is that you're going to be visiting, depending on if it's a very close friend versus a coworker. If it's going to be a hug or a handshake, whatever it is, be sure that you teach your children to be polite when they come into the home and to respect the home. If they're going to have a drink, be sure that you tell them that they have to put a coaster on the table. And when they're sitting at the table, if you're all sitting at the same table versus, sitting at a kid's table, remind them to be polite and not interrupt when adults are talking, and to, just simple rules. Put your napkin on your lap, ask for food to be passed versus reaching for stuff, and just remind them to be on their best behavior.